Hello. Hi, Renetta. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Oh, good. I decided I want to hold my part of the circle outside tonight. So I'm on my phone right now, and I have but the meetings. If you see my picture twice, it's because it's recording on my laptop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you, Wendy, for doing this.
Oh,
It's
thank
always a
you for
special
being
treat.
here. Oh, yeah, I think so. I think it's perfect. Like, it calls to who it calls to, and so the right people show up, and we all get, uh, you know, um, synchronistic experience by showing up for ourselves and
Absolutely.
come showing up for a circle. Um, let's see. Oh, it's just an hour. Just a just a quick coming together. That's really focused, and I love the synchronicity and how our creative morning magic is just so beautifully aligned with these with the sister circle and everything. It just feels very cohesive and collaborative and yummy that way.
Yummy is a good word because it always just gives me, just wonderful feelings. And yeah, it's become a whole new way of life. It's been awesome. So are you oh, there's another one. Yay.
Yeah, Melanie's here. Hey, Mel. Looks like she's muted right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I got it. Hello, everyone.
Hello, lady. Well, I tell you what. Yeah, Melanie, why don't we have you mute? There's a lot of static coming through.
Still,
Yeah.
that is so wild. Okay, I'll mute. That's
You know what I might ask you to try, Melanie, is putting your thoughts in the chat, because we definitely want to hear what's up for you, around the theme, and when we come back out of the journaling. Yeah, definitely want you to be able to participate. But let's try it over chat tonight, because there's just a lot of feedback. And thank you. I'm so happy you're here. I was just sharing with Renetta. It's always perfect. It just it comes around at the perfect time to have a quick and deep little ritual with some sisters who are working on their own stuff. And it I'm loving the theme tonight too, which is I'll go ahead and move us into that. So we are tonight is the new moon in Libra, and Libra is an air sign. Um, and it's really about balance. It's the sign is a scale, and so it is. People who are born in the sign of Libra are very, very concerned about fairness and balance and judgment and those sorts of things. Um, and with everything that's going on in our world right now, we could use a new moon. We could use a new beginning that is centered and grounded around this idea of balance and finding that sweet center spot that's not too much one way or another, that supports everyone's highest good, that is kind of the ideal of Libra. And anytime there's a new moon, you have an opportunity to have a fresh start. It's like turning a new page. You can continue with goals that you've been working on, but make some new, like clarified commitments around those goals. Or you could start with something new. I mean, that's the blessing of a new moon sister circle, is that we can have these conversations, and sometimes even just speaking your thoughts out loud to even just one other person, um, really helps us get clarity just internally, right? And then you have that added benefit of having the reflection back from your wise sisters. And there's something just very, very sacred and natural and organic and powerful about a new moon sister circle. Um, so I certainly have a lot I could share about why I'm drawn to this theme. Um, Restoring balance. I heal the masculine and feminine within. Um, because I've been working with this theme my whole life. I, I, as a girl, growing up in a very patriarchal, very masculine, wild, rural Alaskan town where the men were they were bigger than life. And my mother was a brave woman to bring her family up there and raise children up there. And she's kind of a tough cookie herself, but what I saw, what I like, primary teaching and examples that I picked up from her were about playing the game, how you have to play it a certain way as a woman to to thrive, to be successful around all these men and all this masculine energy. So some real mixed signals I got when I was growing up, because the TV was saying, the way to be powerful as a girl or as a woman is to look a certain way and to use your crafty wiles, right? Like, it was like, again, it was like this teaching, you have to act a certain way, you have to be a certain kind of femininity, and you also need to be smart and chaste and not too slutty, but just slutty enough. I mean, it's just like, what is this thing that I have to I'm being taught I need to be in order to be safe as a woman in the world. So it's a big deal, right? It still is, and there's been so many shifts and changes happening around masculine and feminine energy, and understandings that everyone contains both, right? And it does not matter what is between your legs when you're born. You will still have parts of you that have masculine energy and parts of you that have feminine energy, and that's what's natural. And when we're in balance in those energies, we tend to be pretty happy, healthy, um, productive, good people to be around in the society and culture. But when we get off balance, when we get to uh, a place of imbalance, one way or the other, um, that's when we can get in real trouble. And every time, because I've been doing these new moon circles for years, and so every year this one comes around, and there's more and more healing that comes to the surface, just more and more appreciation for my masculine and my feminine balance and how that serves me. But it's taken a long time. So even just having a place to have this conversation in safety and sacredness feels really special to me. And I'd love to hear, Renetta, what draws you about this theme tonight? What was it that around this theme that said, yeah, I should come here and have this conversation and do this internal work? And Melanie, I want to hear your answer to that too. Maybe you could share in the chat what comes up for you.
This is Renetta, and what came up for me, Wendy, you couldn't have described it any better. I've grown up with predominantly male energy, masculine energy, and went into the male world, have stayed in the male corporate world, and have been dancing for all of these years trying to balance being myself and being the feminine energy, but at the same time demanded masculine energy from me that was at times quite uncomfortable and at times intimidating. And I had to learn how to live and survive with that. And now it's time to come back to balance.
Yeah, yeah. Our culture needs to come back to balance too, but it really happens one person at a time. You know, when we each do our own personal work to, you know, to find that balance, to restore that balance, then we become a really healthy model for those around us about, you know, what that looks like.
And I believe sometimes that takes us letting go of the perceived consequences if we did not perform correctly, or if we did not act correctly, or acceptable to whatever that meant in at the time. When we were not fearful of the consequences or the loss from that is when we gain our wings and spread our wings to say, hey, I think I've healed enough to say that it's okay to be me.
Amen. Yeah, yeah. I've healed enough that I'm not even drawn to going back to that old pattern or that old persona that I was, you know, killing myself trying to maintain.
Well, because you realize you're chasing ghosts. You're chasing a moving target, because oftentimes that the masculine energy realizes that you're totally completely capable of handling it, they move the target. And so you realize you're chasing ghosts again. Yep. It's been interesting. I've learned a lot. I've loved a lot. I've lost. I've gained. I've won. I've had all of those experiences. But when the consequences didn't matter anymore was when I gained my power.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I want to acknowledge Melanie's chat here. She says, I'm so glad to be here. And she says, go back. I have had the same early experiences, just a bit differently. I'm learning to move through this world a little softer. Yeah, yeah, that felt good to read that. I'll share that being the only girl in a family full of boys, 2 of them were biological brothers and 3 of them were stepbrothers, and it was just kind of an impossible. It was not a healthy household for me because it was really, really out of balance. In fact, there was I couldn't really name it at the time because I didn't understand it, but it was an addicted household, and some households have alcohol addiction in them or drug addiction or both. This one had a healthy dose of porn addiction with all the boys and the stepfather had quite a collection. And so I was in that right there is kind of a toxic environment for children. And I think, being the girl made me feel extra vulnerable, especially with stepbrothers who were around my age, and made it clear they did not look at me as like someone they should treat like a biological family member. And so there was that. And so I felt targeted, even before that, even as a really, really young girl. I just felt that energy in the town, in any of the grown-up men that I would, come to meet. Like my mother was the school teacher, and so she was very popular when we would go to the grocery store. Like it seemed like everybody knew her, and and some of these people were older than me, and their parents, and everybody just so she was kind of like a mini celebrity in our in our grocery store when we would go shopping. And men were attracted to her too, right? And so there were many times when I would be with her in the store. I'm maybe 6, 7, 8. I'm prepubescent, and a man is stopping to kind of talk and flirt with my mom, and then would look at me and say some things that maybe they weren't inappropriate, but they just made my hairs stand on end. And you know, depending on your ear, but my ear was tuned to look out for predators, even then. So, if a man said, "Oh, is this your daughter? Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, oh, look out, she's gonna break some hearts when it just like kind of that projecting about the kind of sexual being I was going to be as a teenager, it really triggered me. And I got in trouble because, someone would make a comment like that. I'm 6 or 7 and I would say, "Shut up." Right? I didn't know what else to say. I knew that felt really uncomfortable with what was being said about me, and this was not it didn't feel appropriate to me. This strange man. There was just like um even then I was like, look out. The men are not in balance. They are acting kind of too masculine if they're looking at a little girl and saying those things. Um, and I sort of I've been dealing with this, finding this balance inside of myself for years and years. And uh, it turned I married this is so just in a nutshell, I married a man who had a high level of feminine energy. Actually, I felt safer with him because he had just so much feminine energy, and he was very, very nurturing and funny, and we got along, we had a great time. And what happened after the kids were born is he became um, very kind of jealous, and his feminine energy amped up even more. He would get upset when I would nurse the baby because he couldn't nurse the baby. And it was like, it was weird, right? But it caused tension because I know that breast milk is best for a baby. There was like this kind of energetic tug and pull. After the kids were born, he became more and more maternal and kind of like elbowing me out of that maternal space somewhat. And because his feminine energy was amping up to try to be in balance in the family, my masculine energy was starting to amp up. And I was starting to be, pardon my language, I was starting to be kind of a dick at home. It was just, it was so out, there was something just really way off in our dynamic. I couldn't figure out what it was. It caused a lot of problems. Eventually, I mean, after years of therapy and we did finally divorce, and the kids wanted to live with him. And I couldn't blame them because I had been such a dick. And he was the one who was being, super maternal, and and so yeah, it was like this. I couldn't blame them. It was really painful. I didn't understand what was going on. And it hasn't been until, well, and I have done all my work, right? I've been doing all the forgiveness work and all, just taking care of the things that I can take care of, the things that are inside of my control, and coming to my own personal balance. And it turns out, he has transitioned female now. W- we didn't know. I don't think he even knew at that time that inside he really felt like that was the energy that wanted to be expressed all the time, and in a physical form too. And with that revelation, it's like it's brought a lot of peace. But I'd done my work before that anyway. I was at peace, but with that revelation came more understanding, more context about what was going on, and how about neither one of us were really at fault. There was something that wasn't ready to be, wasn't ready to come out, wasn't safe to come out at that time. And it's not all that much safer now, um, but our family, even though we don't live together, we don't have that kind of domestic relationship anymore, but there is a peace and a balance between she and I, and our kids, and a lot more peace. But so anyway, this restoring balance is something I would advocate for each person to really embrace inside themselves, and be understanding that other people are, you don't know where they are in terms of their balance, and the work they need to do. But I can certainly hold more compassion now, having had that experience. Oh, here we have more chat. Awesome. Okay. So Melanie says, I'm very comfortable being more masculine. It's being softer that has been the challenge. I was praised for my looks, even from the women in my family, not really pushed to be smarter. It made me angry. And that caused me to always be on alert for people who cared more about the outside. I was expected to be silent and not be ugly. I am learning how to use my voice to a healthier way to express myself, not from a place of anger / self-protection. I am trying to find the balance. Thank you, Melanie. That's beautifully put. So, Renetta, did you have anything else that you'd like to share? I think this might be a good time to move into our Unified Heart meditation, and then into the guided visualization and the journaling. Did you have anything else that you wanted to share about this theme before we do that?
Not at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. So let's use our imaginations to create this circle, and allow yourself to call in the women of your lineage, your mothers, your grandmothers, your great-grandmothers, your aunts, your great aunts, your cousins, your daughters, your granddaughters, several generations back and several generations forward. Let's imagine we can hold a sacred circle in that way. And let's take a look to our right and recognize the woman who has come to sit beside you to your right. It could be someone who is actually on this call right now, or it could be one of those women who came to your imagination. But recognize her, look into her eyes, acknowledge her, give her a smile, feel her energy. And now take a look to your left and recognize the sister that has come to sit to your left side. Again, it could be someone who is physically here on this call. It could also be someone who has floated into your awareness as we're drawing our circle. And take her in, look in her eyes, give her a smile, feel her energy. Let's all hold hands in this great big giant circle and gently close our eyes and inhale together, slowing the breath, bringing our attention to how our bodies are feeling right now in full acceptance of whatever is present. Notice where your body is touching the ground and bring your focus there. Begin to feel the pulsing energy of the earth beneath us, the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And with an inhale, breathe in gratitude and love for all that she gives us. Continuing to breathe, feel your heartbeat, your unique, beautiful rhythm. Breathe deeply from your heart as you open to the sensation of love within. Opening, feel the pulsing energy of this love. Envision and feel this pulsing energy as a light glowing in your heart. Breathing deeply, see and feel this light getting brighter until it fills your whole body and surrounds you. And with your next exhale, think of someone who is having a difficult time in their life. Imagine they are right in front of you. While remaining connected with the love in your own heart, allow yourself to feel empathy for this person's struggle as you breathe, honoring their journey. See the light in their heart as the same loving light that is within yours. As you offer your love and compassion to this person, feel the light in both of your hearts growing brighter together. Inhaling as you focus your attention on your heart again. Feel the light growing brighter as you allow the love from your heart to nourish any parts of you that have been in pain. Open to feeling compassion for yourself as you breathe the light of your love into the places where you have kept fear, grief, anger, stress, and insecurity. Open to feeling nourished by the love within. Offer yourself acknowledgement and respect for everything you are, how far you have come, and for the incredible beauty and power within you. Take a deep breath and start to feel the woman to your right. This woman has her own struggles, pain, fears, and insecurities. Take a moment to feel empathy and great respect for this powerful woman beside you. While breathing into your heart, feel the power of the love. See and feel the light within her as it grows brighter, surrounding her. Feel the light within your heart and the light within her heart growing brighter together. Take a moment to feel the woman to your left. This woman has her own struggles, pain, fears, and insecurities. Take a moment to feel empathy and great respect for this powerful woman beside you. While breathing into your own heart, feel the power of the love in her heart. See and feel the light within her as it grows brighter, surrounding her. Feel the light within your heart and the light within her heart growing brighter together. Feel the love and light of every woman in the circle being amplified, growing brighter, filling the whole room. Let's connect with every sister circle happening on this new moon. Imagine the planet with sparks of light glowing where each sister circle is located. A golden web uniting our sisterhood. Let's focus the healing power within our hearts on all of humanity and all of our beautiful planet. Feel within yourself deep love and compassion for your inner masculine and inner feminine. Feel them within you as equal parts that make you whole. Envision these two parts of you coming into balance and harmony, blossoming into their most positive potential. Feel the empathy of the feminine and the protection of the masculine within you as you come into sacred union. Now envision the same inner union with every being alive on this earth. Imagine all children growing up with healthy role models, being raised with a deep respect for healthy feminine and healthy masculine qualities. Envision these children growing up into adults who value intuition, emotion, compassion, and love just as much as they value strength, courage, discipline, and action. Envision and feel the divine feminine and divine masculine forces in every person rising to restore balance in our world. As all people choose to respect, support, and value our differences and our oneness. Imagine and feel the impact of every woman on earth feeling safe and empowered in their feminine essence while gracefully embodying their divine masculine qualities to stand as noble caregivers, protectors, and leaders of this world. Feel the vibration of gender harmony uplifting and supporting humanity, ourselves, our families, our communities, and our world. Bring this intention into your heart, surrounding it with light and love. And with a deep breath, imagine sending it into the earth below like a seed being planted. Feel it blossoming. And bring your hands to your heart and feel your heartbeat. Take a deep breath. Gently open your eyes and bring out your notebook. We'll do a little journaling. Do you have a tendency to express more masculine or feminine energy? Are you more comfortable expressing your feminine or masculine at home, at work, with friends, with your family? Where might you be suppressing your feminine energy in favor of the masculine, or vice versa? And why do you feel you are suppressing it? Let's take 2 minutes for that one. Where might you be suppressing your feminine energy in favor of the masculine, or vice versa? Why do you feel you are suppressing it? Have you ever been in a romantic partnership where you embodied more masculine energy than your partner? How did it impact you and your partnership physically, emotionally, spiritually? Let's take a few minutes for that one. And let's take 3 minutes for this last section. Do you feel comfortable being supported by and asking for support from men? Do you feel comfortable praising men? How do you think women can heal our collective judgment, rage, and fear of men? So I'll repeat that again. Do you feel comfortable being supported by and asking for support from men? Do you feel comfortable praising men? How do you think women can heal our collective judgment, rage, and fear of men? Let's take 3 minutes. All right, let's slowly come back. All right, so I'm going to try to get to the chat from my phone here because I know Melanie was writing some so let me see if I can get there on my phone. Hold with me. Hmm. Can you all hear me?
I can. This is Renetta. Melanie. Wendy, I think you're now on mute.
Okay. What were you saying? You said you said Melanie and then you cut out.
Actually, I called out Melanie to ask her, and then I realized I was talking to you. Sorry. It was a kind of like a little blip there. I apologize. I meant Wendy.
Okay. Oh, all right. I found the chat. Okay. So, yes, I can hear you. Okay. So, all right. She said, I'm good. I noticed recently in Walmart that people were making way for me, actually moving aside so I could continue walking straight ahead. That's not what I want. I'm not totally sure how to show my softer side. I am still figuring it out. I've been taking a lot of deep breaths lately and forcing myself to relax and receive. I do not like asking for help from men. I can praise them honestly because I know what they want to hear. If I see them performing a task or masculine trait well, I will tell them. I have no idea how to make it better. I really need to research that. And then she says, yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you both. Thank you, Melanie. That's great. That's great. Yeah. Sometimes we're in our masculine by default, and so our body is exhibiting uh, masculine traits. There might just be some way that you're moving at a quick pace, and so people are just getting out of the way because they see that you're moving in a certain way with a certain direction and that masculine energy. um, and it's so just bringing that into your awareness is really powerful, right? And then I love that you said remembering to stop and breathe and relax and receive. And I'll say for myself, what that mirrors for me, Melanie, I get in my masculine when um I'm in the supermarket or in places where there's lots of people, and especially now I think my guard is up even more. But even before then, I've just been like, I've got this really sensitive cancer insides, and so I got to have my shell up. It's like this protection thing that comes up. That is, it's a beautiful thing, right? It's that is a masculine trait, and it's healthy for women to have that sense of self-protection and that awareness. And so no wrong about it, but if it's happening when you don't want it to, and if it's outside of your awareness, um those are just things to notice. And I love that you're experimenting with ways to relax and receive and allow yourself to move softer when you want, if that's what you want, right? Yeah. um and yeah, what I wanted to just kind of share was, well, I had already shared that story about my marriage and the imbalance of energy there, but I am getting more comfortable receiving support, um because I'm clear with my boundaries. I think at those times when receiving support or asking for support wasn't safe was when I wasn't clear in my boundaries, or I had some self-worth issues. And um that, so that's when it used to be much harder. um and now I naturally attract healthier men than I used to, right? That's something that I've got to just like acknowledge and be grateful for, that my work um, has the benefit of doing my personal work is I'm not even interested around being a kind of around an unbalanced or toxic masculine energy. It just it's not going to vibe. And I'm just more and more clear about my own personal boundaries. So I feel really good about if I'm better at communicating. Um, any question marks, right? Around the deal, the agreement, whatever the energy exchange is in that receiving of support. Um, and I can praise men, um, because I don't actually do it often, um, but I'm getting better at just like naturally catching other people, male or female, in the act of like being awesome, right? And I like to speak to it when I see somebody doing something well, um, something that it, it is worthy of, it's like, I want to say thank you. I want to acknowledge and praise what's going on there. And um and that's easier to do because I don't have the big fear on my shoulder, that if I praise, it's going to be misconstrued, or it's going to lead to a problem down the line because they're gonna make it mean something I didn't quite mean to make it mean, in the way, you know what I mean. So I'm much more clear, and I've noticed that I'm aware in my expression that my praise is innocent, that my praise just comes from just a healthy observation and gratitude, right? And it's not coming from a place, I don't lie or manipulate, um, with praise. I don't know if I might have done that. I might have done that just out of fear, when I was younger, as a way to get out of sticky situations, or who knows. Um, but I don't. That there's no need. I don't feel that fear that would propel me to lie or manipulate with praise. So it comes from a very innocent place. And and the last part of it, I think, honestly, just what we're doing right now, these kinds of conversations, taking the time to do our personal work around restoring balance, is what's going to kind of tip the scales. Because the whole global sisterhood experiment is about um, meditating globally, and shifting global consciousness. And when each one of us do that, even if we were just doing it on our own, it makes an impact. But what is special on the new moon is the veil is very thin. So the feelings we put out, the words we put out, the intentions we put out on a new moon, and when we're doing it in circle, and when we're doing it synchronistically with other sister circles all around the planet, it makes an impact and a shift in the global consciousness. So the work that we're doing right now, and every day and every week and every month, the consistency of that is shifting our global consciousness. It is making an impact. And there's more and more evidence of that, revealing itself to me every day. And I think if you look for it, keep your eyes open for the shifts and the changes, and praise them right when you see them, then you'll see it more and more, that things are shifting. So that's what I wanted to share. Renetta, did you have some things that you wanted to share? I feel like this has been a really good call. What's on your heart to share?
It's been a beautiful call, and thank you so much. I think this is a very powerful time for all of us. And Wendy, thank you for spearheading the connectingness and the connective tissue that binds us all together to make this a better place, not just for each one of us as individuals, but collectively as a whole, as our community, as our neighborhoods, our state, our world. We're all in a time that we all need each other more than we know. And we've got to learn how to trust again. And this takes us quantum leaps to doing that, because we're all good people to start with. And we've got to start believing that of one another. And it starts with each one of us knowing that we can do that in our own lives and other people's lives, and walk the talk. It's huge.
Yeah, it,
It's
it's
all about accountability of ourselves and others, and holding others accountable in our lives for the honesty and the integrity that we all should expect of ourselves and others. Um, and going forward, I think it's going to become even more critical in these next several months. But as we move into the age of Aquarius and this new thought process, and no more hiding, no more flying under the radar. We're all going to be front and center, and it's really nice to watch it happen. It's cool.
it is. It's
So
so cool.
thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully
I
I
want to
made
share.
hopefully that made sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Melanie is concurring. So there's more chat on the thread. She says it's a work in progress. She
Yep.
says yes. She says yes. Yes, I don't want to get hurt, but I also don't want to be repelling people and upsetting children. LOL. She says, yeah, the social contract. I've really been good at praising positive behavior. Yes, that has been a problem for me too. Innocent praise, LOL. Being misunderstood. Um, Melanie, I think, part of it is like when you look a certain way that the culture has decided is attractive, you get people projecting their stuff onto you, and it may take some time to figure that out, that people tend to project their thoughts as if they're coming from you, right? And so yeah, that being misunderstood. So when you are like just super clear in your boundaries, and you know what you're saying, and you know what your intentions are and what your intentions aren't, then that communication, doesn't have to be so charged, right? Because you can just be clear. We have uh in November, we're going to have a communication workshop around the full moon. That'll be really good. And then we have a on day before Halloween, on the 30th, our full moon, is around conflict resolution, um, and enabling life harmony. So we got some good work ahead of us. She says, I didn't get much positive feedback growing up, so I practiced a lot with my son and then my daughters as they grew up, and noticing that others needed that too. Yeah, absolutely, that positive feedback.
Well, and
Thank you. She gives me a compliment. Uh, yes, personal accountability. I totally agree. No more hiding. That's so true. Not even from ourselves. Yep. That will be great in November. All right. Oh, ladies, thank you so much for this powerful circle tonight. I am blessed by your presence. And here we go into a whole new month. And we can hold hands. It could get bumpy, but just remember to breathe. And we're going to be okay. We're going to make it through this election season, um, and through everything, because we're doing our own work, and we're holding ourselves and each other accountable in love and in sacred circles. So with that, I just I send you off with blessings and gratitude. Have a great night.
We send you off with blessings, Wendy. Thank you so much.
Bye, Melanie. Bye, Renetta.
Bye.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Good night.